War never changes. This is the story of Martin Winters. Looking back into the memories of my grandfather, I find out how pre-war America looked. Pristine, healthy, not full of abominations of the wastes. Luxuries that were seemed so far distant from us and almost fairy tale like. Fresh food, never have to scavenge for water. It was somewhat of a paradise. In this home that I look at, I can imagine how happy he was to finally be parted away with war. But everything has a price. Peace only comes at a short time, where he looks over his possessions, his belongings that we wouldn't have no use in the world today, in the Commonwealth alone. The only thing that we notice is the simple things: food, water, medicine. No personal belongings like diplomas or flags of a previous world. Nothing like that. But slowly but surely, the fear of war drew on his mind again. So my grandfather took preparations. I know for a fact he told me that he used to walk around his home, looking at the things that he earned, bought, and realized that if war ever happened again, they'd be very insignificant in his life. And the only people that would be significant would be his wife, Nora, and his son, Sean. My grandfather also, due to our family service, was accepted into a vault, a local vault, located in Sanctuary Hills. Funny story about the Vault Tech representative that he met that day. Oh, well, he met him 200 years later, but that's a different story for a different time. But going through this memory of how the world looked, how everything was commercialized, easy to get used, and, well, easy to find. All you needed is a few scraps of paper, known as the dollar, a pre-war currency. Not so different to our caps, but just feels like the world was a better place because of this. And now with the war going on longer than expected, the American people were scared, sickened, and tired of war, just as my grandfather was. With serving with his unit, with the 180 Battalion of the United States Army, he chose a peaceful life after he finished with them. Today of all days, on October 23rd, 2077, he signed his name, his family into the vault. But during that day, he was supposed to go to what was known as Veterans Hall and give a speech. The very speech he told me as a child, and my father as well. Hopefully now, with his memory going on in the wasteland for what he did, will always be someone proud. But we're looking back at memories. We're going to see my brother Sean as a baby, which is still strange to see now that Sean has changed a little bit since then. Sean as a kid, strange feelings of wondering what it was like when my father brought me up. I don't remember having a crib and a mobile like him, but at least we were a family. And we were taught pride, honor, and service, alongside many of my grandfather's friends. A walk in the park just seemed so distant between everything. That was something casual thing to do instead of running for survival through an old pre-war park in the middle of Boston. But this shows the beginning of the end. a news reporter reporting on a television, those old little boxes that we find in old houses that still turn on the day when power is activated. Just saying, please stand by. A 200-year-old message of please stand by. But my grandfather knew this was the end. His little paradise, his happiness, he wanted to keep intact by staying with Nora and Sean. So, the beginning of their escape was quite frightening at the time. They would continue following the green grass, the lush trees, the fresh air, and possibly as well on a bad day, rain that wouldn't burn through your clothes or emit radiation. Everything just feels so sci-fi to us when we look back and hear about these stories. Just makes you think. What if the world never went to war? I know I wouldn't be here. But anyway, I suppose there's no changing the future now. No, the past really. You can always change your future. Try to improve on it. Try to make it a place worth living. But my grandfather tried to do that, and his great-great-grandfather tried to do that.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside the gate?
National service in our family, pride, honor, duty, family. A peaceful place to live. To grow old, and let the new generation take over. But that didn't happen for my grandfather. Instead, he saw a roaring red blast in the distance of what used to be a southern part of Boston.
We love you too.
And this marked the beginning of the end.
Hold on!
As my grandfather once said, war never changes. It doesn't matter of how much the world has changed. It still means the same thing, but also means hope for a better future.